How you doing today? This is McCarthy, aka TR, the loan guy, mortgage broker for Sceptre Mortgage. How you doing today? A few days ago, or not too long ago, I should say, I had the pleasure of spending time with the infamous Dr. Sharon Barnes. And if you know, whenever we get together, we cannot help but jump in front of the camera and answer a few questions for you, the home buyer. So take a few moments. Look at the reel here, answer a few different questions on the real estate side and also the mortgage side. And I hope you learn some information and also have an absolute wonderful new year from Sceptre Mortgage, ADU Advantage, TR the Loan Guy, and Dr. Sharon Barnes. Have an absolute wonderful day. Me and Dr. Barnes, TR and Dr. Barnes.
Together again, the gruesome twosome.
Together again. We are here at the Barnabas.
Barnabas IE.
Barnabas IE.
Yep.
Barnabas IE group. And they're putting on a collaboration event. We're here at the
Benedict Castle
in Riverside, California. Hey everybody, welcome to Benedict Castle here in Riverside, California. I'm TR McCarthy, aka TR the Loan Guy, here with Dr. Sharon Barnes from ADU Advantage, the one and only Dr. Sharon Barnes from ADU Advantage. But I want to just take the time to answer a few questions. So, Dr. Barnes.
All right, Mr. TR, the Loan Guy.
Yes, ma'am.
What is one of the first tips you want to tell buyers that they need to be aware of to get the buying process started?
I will say the first thing that buyers need to be aware of and what they should do first, talking to you, is you have to get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, but pre-approved. You have to know what your purchasing power is. You can't go look for homes without being pre-approved, because if you find a house that you like, you put an offer in, they're going to deny it because you don't have the pre-approval. And on top of that, you may see a house that's worth $1.2 million, fall in love with it. I want that house. I'm going to get that house.
Exactly.
But what you are approved for is $600,000 or $700,000. There's a big gap in what you can afford if you don't know your numbers. Okay?
That's great. Now, one thing though I want to point out,
What's
the
that?
difference between pre-approval and pre-qualified, because some people can give you pre-qualified letters like snap of a finger. You said get pre-approved. Tell a little bit about what the difference is.
I appreciate that. Pre-qualification, anybody can get pre-qualified. You're going to say, how much do you make? Well, I make $12,000 a month. Oh, okay. For $12,000 a month, you should be able to afford this house here. However, they did not take into account credit. What you're paying on your credit report. Are you paying $1,000 or $600 for a car? Are you have $90,000 in credit card debt that you got to pay an extra $3,000 on every month? Do you have student loans? So just going off of what you make, they can only give you a pre-qualification. But a pre-approval, we will look at your income. We will calculate all your income, your debt to income ratio, which is going to go off of your credit report. We're going to look at your FICO score. We're going to look at every single thing so we know what rate you qualify for and what house amount you can actually comfortably afford. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you so much for that.
Right, no problem. I have a question now, Dr. Barnes.
Yes, sir.
Your question is this. What is one misconception or fallacy that most new buyers don't know when they're looking to buy a home?
Well, I wouldn't say so much of a fallacy. I'm going to put on my hat as a real estate agent with Caldwell Banker to answer this. Recently, they've changed the rules that require buyers to sign a representation agreement with their agent or with their realtor before they go see the first house. This is kind of a new change that people aren't familiar with if they bought a house 3 or 4 years ago, okay? So you have to sign a buyer representation agreement before the realtor can start making appointments for you to actually go see a house. But then under that representation agreement, there's a commitment to pay commissions that the buyer has to say, for this representation, I will pay this amount of commission, usually 3%, right? And this is a shift because up until now, sellers have been paying the commission. And typically, a lot of them still are because they understand without you, the buyer, with the down payment, with the pre-approval letter, with the ability to buy their home, there is no sale. Okay. And you need to have representation. So actually, when you make that commitment to your realtor, down the line, it is a negotiation point, probably depending on how much the seller is paying commission. So I guess without getting into a lot of detail, know that these days you have to commit to your real estate agent. You can commit on a property specific, meaning you just committing for 123 Elm Street, or for the city of Rialto or Riverside, or for the county within the next 6 months. So these are things you have to negotiate, but you do have to sign. And the realtor has to answer to the broker, who has to answer to the California Association of Realtors. So it's not personal, and we need to be aware of it.
All right. I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
So now that this is a new thing that they
Yes.
have to sign the representation agreement, and that means that they have to say, yes, we're going to pay the commission for that broker, that
Yes.
real estate broker. During your negotiations, can't you put into your offer stating that you would like the seller to pay the buyer's commission?
You can put it in there, or that you're not going to pay anything above that. But if the buyer for this house that you love is paying zero, then your realtor gets zero. And it's just the realtor in problem with the broker, because nobody's going to work for free. You don't know, because it used to be, it would be in the MLS or somewhere saying, hey, the seller is paying commission and how much. Now we have to make a phone call to say, is your seller paying commission? Usually they'll say, yes. Well, how much is your seller paying? Just submit your offer and ask for it. Because if I ask for 3%, they're only paying 1.5%, we can maybe negotiate. But if I ask for 2%, seller's willing to pay 3%, then I lose 1%. So it's supposed to be transparent, but it's just making it another part of the negotiation. But it's a different world for the buyer who says, I barely made the down payment and barely got qualified. I can't afford $18,000 for the commission. And usually that's a negotiation point. Everybody will come to the table to save a deal if they can. But we just have to know this is how it starts now.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So there you have it. First step in getting your home journey process started, get pre-qualified with a mortgage broker.
Pre-approved.
Sorry, pre-qualified. So there you have it. So there you have it. The very first step in getting your mortgage journey started. Get pre-approved with a mortgage broker. I recommend myself, McCarthy from Sceptre Mortgage. You have to then find a reputable realtor. If you're in Southern California, I recommend Dr. Sharon Barnes, ADU Advantage. And then you have to sign the
buyer representation agreement.
And then you can get started with that pre-approval buyer's representative agreement to go look at homes and put in offers.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's a great start. Like I said, I'm with Caldwell Banker Realty. We're here to serve. And so reach out.
TR, the loan guy, signing out.